All right, everybody, you're all unmuted as we rant about waifus with 8 strength. Welcome, everyone. I'm Obsidia, and welcome to the final pre-hiatus session of Nexus Forlorn Legacy, which I'll go into more detail about in a bit. But so happy to have you. I'm Obsidia, the DM of this campaign. And first up, we have Peculiar Little Rabbit.
Hello, hello. My name is Beatrix Bunny. I'm a variety streamer who focuses on roguelikes, digital artwork, and RPGs primarily, but I do an awful lot of an awful lot. I am also one of the game masters for one of the campaigns Obsidia is a player in, that being the Deadlands campaign, Wayward Guns, sort of like a Weird West, Wild West horror deal. If that's your jam, check it out. I'm also going to have another project that, gosh, Lord Willen and the Creek Don't Rise will be launching before too long for a second campaign. But more importantly for tonight, I'm going to be playing Feng-chen Wong. I am the Hobgoblin Artificer and your future benevolent overlord. The pleasure is yours.
Thank you, B. And yes, you guys should come watch Deadlands on Thursday. We're going to put
Op's muted
together.
right now.
Oh, I was like, wow, she's giving me a lot of space. Does she want me to just keep
Sorry, yeah,
vamping,
it was.
or...
I muted myself while I was typing things. Yes, thank you, B. Guys should check out Deadlands. It's fun. My character is quite goofy and says zany things. Next up, we got Meris.
Hello, everyone. I'm Meris Aurum. I am a Celestial Dragon VTuber. I specialize in storytelling streams where we talk about all things books and literature and media literacy, and it's a grand old time. I also run my own homebrew campaign, the Trial of Hearts. It's an ode to all things romantic fantasy. Picture Bridgerton, both infinitely more political intrigue and infinitely more gay. And it's also a great time. Definitely check it out. But while I'm here, brain cells get chucked right into the garbage. I play Soleil, the party's hot pink tiefling, fae, himbo, werewolf blood hunter. And it's a great time, and I'm happy to be my dumb little man.
Thank you, Meris. We're happy to have your dumb little man here. Next up, we got Sif.
Oh, hi, that's me. Hi, Sif underscore VTuber here. Living suit of armor. I play game. I do art. I defend Will from Baldur's Gate 3. Anyways, I'm here to roleplay as Nafisa, little Drake Wharton dragonborn girl with her pet dog, Nix. Should really get like a soundboard and have like a dog bark every time I say that.
Like we're a
How do you
radio
make a
show.
dog
And
bark
next up,
sound?
we got the big dog next. The
How
dog's
do you
in
make
the
a dog
house.
sound like she's made of rock?
Just like gravel pouring.
It's thinking the fucking SpongeBob Rock episode. Sorry.
Thank you, Sif. And last but never least, we got Lily.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lily. I am an aspiring artist that draws a lot of D&D stuff. I've mostly focused on drawing my personal characters, including our lovely sheep here, Aurora, as well as many others. I also DM my own campaign, which is Mistwalker Spectrum of Eternity. There are currently 5 episodes up on my YouTube. Very excited for that. Been doing a ton of work on that recently with like 3,000 some words for the next session. Oh god. Anyways, but yes, so hope you guys check that out. As for tonight, as I mentioned, I'm playing the good old pink sheep satyr. I almost blanked on my class just because that's just how homebrewed she is in my mind, even though there's no homebrew. But Scribes Wizard, and also Bimbo, because you can be a wizard and still be a bimbo, right, Gail? Anyways, yeah, I'm happy to be here. Happy to be queer.
Thank you, Lily. So as a brief comment, as I have said many times, I am undergoing facial feminization surgery part 2 next Friday. And because it is A, an intensive surgery, and B, is my jawline and everything and the ability to speak, I will be going on hiatus for at least a month afterwards as I recover. So this is the last Forlorn Legacy session prior to my surgery date. So, you can always watch all the previous episodes on my YouTube. They're pretty darn cool. You can also, if you're chomping at the bit for more Obsidia D&D content, I literally have an entire campaign from start to finish on my YouTube. Eberron, Ashes of the Last War. It is a blast. It's 65 episodes and goes through all manners of emotional turmoil and gay. And so if you want to go check it out, it's very cool. Many of these people played in it as well. So it's go cool. This is your mandatory go watch Ashes of the Last War plug. If you watch that, this campaign makes way more sense. Specifically everything about Soleil's character. But yeah, so go do that. And I will look forward to coming back. And I will hopefully be in a place where I can commission more Nexus art for you guys of the various NPCs and bad guys that they encounter. So that's it for that. Other than that, previously on, our heroes returned to speak to the Dragon Moms about everything going on with potential new employment after what happened with Omega attacking them, where Omega basically pitched that they think that they can be able to figure out who they are/were and possibly why the NextCorp, the Nexite Consortium, the corporation that apparently the Dragon Moms have a huge bone to pick with, is so interested in Omega, or at least in the Sapphire Sea, that is the lion's share of Omega where they reside in their nanomachine swarm. So they determined that if they're exposed to a significant enough amount of magic, probably by accessing ley lines throughout the planet, they could be able to find ancient tech reservoirs of information. And so this was deemed to be a convincing enough argument that the Dragon Moms have given the party their very own boat, the Durandal, a decommissioned military vessel from the United Federation of Allied States Navy, to transport them around the world and go check out ley lines. So they went to their ship and met the various command elements of the crew, who were various levels of eccentric and or antagonistic to the party members. They were given their own rooms and settled in there before setting sail for their first location that they have selected, the Empire of the Solar Phoenix in the Elemental East, otherwise known as the Solari Empire for short, where they have, after about a week at sea, they have arrived and are stepping foot in the port city of Zuhai, the gateway to the Solari Empire, standing adjacent to its capital city, Ashengard, on the eastern side of the Sunsphere Mountains. And the other name for Zuhai is actually the Scarlet City. As to why they figured that out, as they arrived and the entirety of lights in the city are red, casting the entire town into various shades and gradients of red. And as they approach, we jump back into the action. So guys, you see the city, you're about to dock with the city. Is there anything you want to do prior to the ship docking at port?
So we
No.
got any oh, go ahead.
Nope, go.
Okay. I was just gonna say, we got any ideas, or we kind of just gonna mosey on through for at least until we find a lead or two?
Well, I have some notes, but maybe we could ask like Captain Stormsmite, or we could ask Carl or Ura or the Giacomo if they know anything about this place. Any personal experiences or any nice shops they'd like us to go to pick up something for them. Little things.
We certainly should consider trying to find the basics of a command center, the makings thereof, before we try and spread ourselves too thin.
Fantasy Airbnb.
Oh yeah. Like an inn with a nice bath would be good. Yes.
Soleil is like practically like hanging over like the railing of the boat, like his tail is wagging. He is clearly very excited.
I think we should go.
But
Okay.
yeah, no. Let's get some shelter. At least some shelter settled for now.
Okay, let's go say goodbye to everyone first then.
Okay.
Right?
Uh, you know based on the week you've spent on the ship that generally Captain Stormsmite and Commander Scarlingen are usually in the bridge. Ura kind of just she will travel about the deck usually when she's not doing equipment maintenance or drilling with her fellow Marines, and Jacobo's everywhere. He's usually vibing is the best way to describe him.
What a guy.
The man is 100% like coconut with a little umbrella sitting on the deck as all the sailors are doing work.
What a guy.
Man truly is living his best life.
Yeah, we can just go around saying goodbye to them, right?
Sure.
I think so.
So yeah, you stop at the bridge and see there's probably about a dozen bridge officers, going through various ship management things and relaying like radio calls to presumably the harbor authority and stuff about their approach and all that. And Stormsmite is very much like locked in, giving orders and stuff. And you hear the various naval things of Mr. Whatever, Miss Whatever, Commander please, or Commander do X, Y, and Z, etc. As you guys walk in, and one of the lieutenants in the bridge will kind of look up at you. It's a half elf. It's a male half elf. Kind of looks up and is there anything I can help you all with? We're going through the final steps to dock.
Oh, we just came by to say goodbye and stuff before that. We head out when you dock, or should we do that later after we've docked? I am not familiar with the boat things. I mean, I've been on a boat before, but like not like this. And
he kind of looks over at like this half orc at his side, and his female kind of half orc kind of like shrugs kind of sheepishly, and he looks back at you guys and goes, it would probably be best to wait until we've docked if you wish to speak to the captain and the commander. They're kind of focused right now.
oh, okay.
Of course.
But thank you for coming by. He looks really awkward.
It's nice seeing you too.
These people are like trained professionals. They're not used to. I don't think they're very used to common courtesies.
Sad.
I mean, I guess.
We should bring back for them plenty of courtesies. But yeah, should we just figure out where we want to go, or did we just wait for it to dock?
Yeah, you can find Giacomo. Giacomo's currently like he's actually doing like four-armed pull-ups in his room. When you come in, the large mantis shrimp Triton man, kind of he's usually shirtless. Sometimes he has a loosely opened Hawaiian shirt, but currently he's just shirtless. Doing the pull-ups, and he sees you guys come up and drops down, and his eyes have that like there's no pupils in them. They're just these very fine, multifaceted oil slick colored orbs in his head, and he gives you a big toothy smile and stuff as he comes in and kind of takes a little towel and dabs at his carapace a bit. And yo, well, what do you guys are leaving soon, aren't you?
Right, yes, we thought it best to say our goodbyes and happy voyages for the time being.
Yo, you guys like leaving?
Not forever.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
we have no idea how long this is going to take, so I guess it could be a few days.
Oh, fuck, man, you guys made it sound like you're like peacing out for good, and I was like, oh shit,
No,
man,
no,
I don't
no.
know.
Feng's really good at the drama. Mhm.
Have
Okay, oh, go ahead.
have you ever been to the Scarlet City?
Oh no, no. I mean, definitely gonna check it out. Like once we dock, fucking shore leave, and but no, I've never been here specifically. I've been to the Argent Union. I fucking, I saw the Imperium once, um, and I think like mostly I've just been to like different parts of like the Federation mostly. So this is gonna be cool, man. I'm excited. You think they got like, you think like girls dress differently here?
I mean, we dress differently, so probably.
Damn, that is a really convincing argument.
From what I know secondhand, yes, there's going to be a bit of culture shock.
Nice. I'm excited to fucking shock some cultures.
Well, maybe don't phrase it like that.
All right, I'm excited to give cultures some shocks.
Okay,
No,
I
Professor
don't.
Jacob would be proud of that. It is good to be
Would
eager
he?
about it.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, I was
I'm
already shocked by many cultures, and now I shock cultures too.
what?
Not to
You
have
see,
shocked many a people.
yeah, but I don't think it was because of culture, Soleil. Most men don't walk around shirtless in more developed cities. It's kind of a shame.
I was about to say that sounds more like a them problem.
With
Yeah.
with
It is.
Giacomo's gonna lift up one of his big arms to high five you as you say that's a them problem, as he is also
Yeah.
shirtless.
Flexes with him.
Yeah.
Can we get a flex check?
Oh no. Yeah. We don't know how deep we'll be going, but if we get any cookie souvenirs you might like a new necklace or something, we'll be sure to bring it back for you.
Totally, man. I love that. And put it. I can like add it to my like collection of like like wacky stuff I find in my tales. He's got like his little like puka shell with his like little tetrarchic fucking starburst and circle that he like wears as like a necklace and stuff, and he shows you that and he goes, yeah, man, I can add. I got bracelets. I can get like a little charm bracelet. That'd be cool.
He's so cool.
Is there anything in particular you would wish for?
I don't know, man. I've never been here, so like I don't know like what's cool here. Um Obviously like red seems to be their thing. And like I think red's a fine color, but like maybe they're like over redding.
Hmm. I wonder, do you experience red in the same way as us, being a mantis shrimp?
Oh man, I see like colors that you couldn't even fucking conceptualize. And it's fucking wild sometimes. I look at you and like I can see these like gradients of color that like transcend through time and space.
And what about
Fascinating.
considering I've got multiple colors on me? What do you see when you look at me?
He goes, he makes a like a sound effect that you have no idea what it means. It sounds like very like glubby aquatic-y as he like points at your hair and goes, that is how I would describe that color.
Oh, okay. I'll take that. That's a compliment.
It's okay,
Fascinating.
Aurora. We can get you new glasses.
What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, I heard you can get really nice glasses in the Solari Empire. Professor Jacobs told me about like how you could walk in and walk out with a brand new pair or whatever.
I mean, I like my glasses. I don't really need a new pair.
Yeah, that's okay. It's just a fun fact.
If people were like wondering like how Giacomo kind of views color, you know, back before AI was truly deemed evil and it was kind of silly. Remember the like the Google like dream thing that was all like the weird psychedelic creations that would get made? That's like how Giacomo views the color spectrum on people.
Oh.
Things are very different. It's hard to conceptualize as a normal ass person what colors he sees when he looks at you. That is all. That's a fun mantis shrimp fact. He's got like what are they like 26 different like you know shades of light or something that they can process with their eyes.
Sounds right.
A lot going on in Giacomo's head we'll never understand.
Yeah, the world is very psychedelic for him. Real fear and loathing in Giacomo Vegas. But yeah, man, just like have a fucking fun time or something, you know. I imagine you're probably tired of being on a boat. You guys don't really take me as like nautical sorts. So, yeah, just enjoy being on the land. I know I will.
And we will make sure Omega has a very good time. As like, I imagine Nafisa would just pick up Omega, just hold them.
As you're holding up Omega, you're like, oh! Omega's a lot heavier than you thought.
It's okay.
Because Omega weighs like several hundred pounds.
Very dense, but
Yeah.
you know, I have the powerful build feat,
Yep,
so
you do have
I can
powerful
start-
build, so it's not like you can lift them. It's just they're very heavy. So yeah, you lift up Omega, and Omega goes, "We feel like we are already rising above our current station."
Is that a joke? Oh.
I was about to say, was that a joke you just made?
This is interesting. I had no idea that you were capable of such improvisation.
We are capable of many things that you have yet to fully discover.
It almost sounds like a challenge.
Okay, I think we should go sit and wait until we dock for now. But yeah, we can figure out where we're going after we dock and everything, like places to stay, things to buy. I would like furniture and nice carpentry for my room. Nice cloths.
We can certainly try. I do not know how much room we will have to work with within your room.
I will just put carpets everywhere.
You can have my room's carpet.
Your room
You-
has carpet?
No, like when we get rooms.
Ah,
No, I'm talking about our rooms on the boat, Soleil.
Oh.
We're not buying a house here.
No, I meant like where we're staying, you know.
Oh no, it's okay. I don't think I could rip the carpet from the floor. I think that would get me in trouble.
They
Mm.
probably would.
Yeah.
Listen, I've done a lot of illegal shit, and that sounds like it would be right up there with those.
Have you cut someone's carpet?
The way you say that makes it sound like a euphemism. And to that side of the answer, yes. To the actual literal side of the argument or the answer, no, I've never gone and cut a physical carpet.
That should go on the bucket list noted, and she'll make a note of it in her journal.
Which part?
No comment.
Hey
Oh.
yo.
And if he just doesn't respond, she just writes it in her notebook. All right.
All right, if you want to wait for the ship to dock, it will eventually dock, and the easiest way to tell that you have now docked is everything is now red. As the light pollution of the city, kind of goes over the ship. Omega looks purple, because Omega is so blue in everything that the red light coming out of all the like lamps and stuff here just makes Omega look kind of purple. But fun fact about red light, it actually is the best light for seeing in the dark.
See me in the dark.
So that is a marginal increase for everyone here. That those of you without dark vision, you actually see slightly better than you would normally at night. And those of you with dark vision see slightly better than you already saw during night.
No, not dark vision haver. Woo!
Samesies.
Yeah, it's a 50% dark vision gang in this party.
Instead of like dark vision letting you see in shades of gray, you now see dark vision shades of red.
Yep, basically. This is something that especially Aurora would notice about everything, is just everything in this city that you can see is gradients of red. You saw a bit of the city as you were approaching before night fell, and like there seems to be lots of colors and stuff present, but now that it is nighttime, the entire city is just gradients of red.
The red was cool. I'm starting to feel like it's a little tacky. Am I the only one?
Aurora.
Well, no, not your red is fine, Nafisa.
Nafisa can make a history check or a religion check if you want, and Feng-chen can make a history check with advantage or a religion check without advantage.
All right.
Here we go.
What have I
That's a
triggered?
9.
Nice.
It is
Solid
not a
9.
mighty 9.
Solid 9.
9. Mm-hmm.
That is a dirty, nasty little 22.
Oh, slutty 22. From hearing from your dad and stuff about growing up here in Zuhai that the reason why everything is red, it dates back basically to early Solari civilization, when they venerated specifically the solar phoenix as the elemental prime of fire, and the symbol of the sun, and its rebirth is basically the sun going and setting each day and the phoenix being reborn. So the reason why is that this was one of the major religious hubs of their civilization, and it was to symbolize that even at night, the light of the sun would still be protecting everyone in the city, and that it would protect them all equally. So that is why everything is this red hue at night. And even though they've converted to the tetrarchic faith after after the last previous centuries, they did syncretize many elements of the old elemental worship into their tetrarchic system. So the continuing of casting everything in red is continued for over a millennia. So that's just a fun religious cultural factoid that Feng knows about why the Scarlet City is the Scarlet City.
Got it.
Thanks.
But without that being addressed, you can move on, and once you were docked, you see Captain Stormsmite gather the crew together on the deck of the ship, and Commander Scarligan starts basically giving a safety brief to them about we're docked here. You guys are going to be given shore leave in rotations. While you're on shore leave, don't fuck up. These are all the things you could do badly. If we have to come, pull you out of a Solari jail because you decided to do some bad things while you were here, you will suffer much more aboard this ship. And eventually they will be dismissed. And you see about a third of the crew is gonna, basically take off with you guys off the ship. But you do have an opportunity now to say bye to all the command staff.
All right.
Here, Lieutenant Ora, are you going to be enjoying shore leave or?
She kind of like looks a little startled as you come up to her about it. This big crocodile lady. She goes, yeah, I was planning on going in the next rotation. I I would like to have some time off of the ship again. Um, so I will be there. Yes.
Okay, if we find any fancy books to bring back and give to you, we will find them. Okay, to add to your pile.
Uh, uh sure, sure, yeah. Um, any fancy books you find? She kind of chuckles awkwardly. If
Thanks again as well for the smooth sailing that brought us here.
well, I'm I'm with the Marines, so I don't really have any involvement in that. But I appreciate your sentiment.
Yeah, but if we were in trouble, you would beat up whatever was giving us trouble. So thank you.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Mhm.
She kind of stands a little taller.
That's our lizard folk. That's
Yep.
our goat.
Yep. Your crocodile lizard folk lady.
All right. Does anybody else want to say anything to her before we go into Carl?
Mm, Nothing immediately jumps to mind.
Okay, we should go say goodbye to Commander Carl next.
Okay. Carl and Renee are next to each other, kind of talking as the crew is going about their division of duties and stuff. And they'll look up at you guys as you approach. And Carl kind of gives you guys a nod and goes, I presume now that you are going ashore to handle your responsibilities.
Yes, it's our responsibility. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just simply going to say yes. We're just going about thanking the crew for what is the first of hopefully many smooth voyages.
It is appreciated, not necessary, but appreciated.
Mhm. You guys took very good care of us. I couldn't figure out if you wanted anything, so if we find anything cool, do you want it? Like, is anything in particular, or?
Oh no, you don't have to get anything for us. Or at least for myself, I'm fine. And kind of looks down at Captain Stormsmite and she goes, it will not be necessary. We are simply doing our duty. We hope that you do yours in service to the ladies.
I like when they talk about the duty, they just look over at Nafisa, who is in pure tourism mode.
Taking out the camera.
hmm Okay, if we find something nice, we will bring it back for you to.
uh, Captain Stormsmite kind of just sighs. There's a little a little hill dwarf kind of looks up and just goes, "Do whatever you feel necessary. We will continue to keep this ship in functionality for whenever you need to depart."
Mhm.
Of
Okay,
course.
I think with that we are all good to go. Soleil, Aurora.
So, Leia Aurora, what do you guys do? I guess they're chatting with the captain and commander.
If I may, I imagine like Soleil may be kind of just like looking over the side of the boat,
Yeah,
excited to see.
his attention's very diverted right now.
Yeah. I imagine Aurora just kind of like walks over to him and kind of just takes like just a similar position, like looking over the side and just uses her butt to give his butt a little like nudge and say, "You seem really excited, aren't you?"
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess I am. He tries to act super nonchalant, but his tail is still betraying him and giving him away. Um, just I just I haven't experienced a lot of goblinoid culture. to this extent, so I'm excited. I mean, I know it's gonna be different. It's not quite the same as what I know, but I'm still I'm excited.
You seem so bashful about your excitement, though. It's okay to be excited.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I'm just a little nervous too, because I mean, I mean, I don't look like a goblin.
Mm, I get it. I think the love and care that you have for it, though, will probably show through at the very least.
Yeah, yeah, I hope so.
And those, you got like those fancy swords. I take it those are also goblinoid stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, my swords, my clothes. It's yeah.
Mm. Well, at the very least, then I'm sure they'll appreciate the craftsmanship.
Yeah, they they are pretty impressive. So I think you're right.
And that'll be a good little conversation starter, too. If you're not sure what to say because you don't know everything, you can at least start with that.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I just I I hope it's not so different that I can't connect with it.
Mm. She'll just kind of grab his arm, give it a little, like, squeeze, and just say, I'm sure it'll go well. Okay?
Okay.
Besides, you got some pretty energetic folk about this stuff.
That's true. I might have difficulty keeping pace with Nafisa.
That's okay. I just want to make sure you're good. Okay?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. I think we're about ready then.
All right. And with that, Nafisa and Feng-chen pull off of the captain and commander, and you guys can disembark into the city of Zuhai. And as you get off the boat, you still have every harbor in the world basically smells the same. it's that
Beesh.
it's that fish and like salty, slimy, industrial smell from like ships and everything. It's never good. Like nobody enjoys going to a harbor. um, but like once you get past that and getting into more of the city itself, you notice like compared to especially Vennonia as a point of reference, like Vennonia kind of goes up fairly high because they need to get above the pollution line for the upper class people, but it sprawls out enormously. Jai doesn't seem to be as big as Vennonia is, um, and it's not like tiered the same way, but you do see these massive skyscrapers, like rising above the rest of the city periodically, and they seem to be like spaced apart, um, with it's as if each building is made of like stained glass. You can't really tell all the colors of the stained glass because everything's red. But it does seem to be like they're probably different colors, and the stained glass like forms various designs and patterns and like presumably pictures and stuff of significance. Um and you see that there's like light projections coming off of a lot of these buildings into the sky around them, as well as kind of above some of the lower level structures, and they're literally like illusionary projected like holographic advertisements, for all manners of things. And you just see it's like this very much, this place doesn't have nearly any of the pollution that Vennonia has, but there is so much light pollution here, as there is just light projections everywhere of just moving models and slogans and goods and previews, presumably for shows or movies or whatever. Um, and it's just this, like, very much a kaleidoscope of just different projections coming everywhere. Very not like quite the same augmented reality that the Revenants were, but it's like there's very
Oh,
much
thank
just
God.
stuff everywhere. Very much like you're in what's it called? Like a Blade Runner esque like advertisements.
Mm.
Uh,
And as you get in the cities themselves, they're much cleaner, much cleaner than Venonia. It's for people who have spent a lot of time in the UFAS, like Feng and Aurora, it's kind of weird actually, because it doesn't seem like there's any manufacturing in the same way that produces all the pollution that's so common there. Feng knows because of her family that the Solari practice a very different form of technology than the UFAS does. They use a much more refined, expensive way rather than basically using Nexite in a coal gasoline style. They use it much more in like solar cell capacity. So everything is much more expensive, but it's much cleaner here by comparison. Um,
Interesting.
and you know, just to reiterate it, there's a lot of features which I can't go into as much detail just because you're in the night phase of the city. But as you're seeing the various people here, it seems like the three most common, kind of lineage groups here are various types of fire ganassi, various types of earth ganassi, and then lots of goblinoids. Kind of going about their day-to-day night lives here. You see lots of cafes and shops and stuff that are still operating here. So it's only fairly recently past sundown, and all the lights blazing. The people here, aside from their obvious elemental features or anything, is what some of the common things they do is they all have like tattoos or like facial like piercings or jewelry and stuff kind of on their skin in different ways, in all kinds of like different like pretty designs, like gem work and stuff, like running along their eyes or along their cheeks and stuff. And it's just a very common thing here to have various facial kind of accessories. But people are just kind of buzzing about. The Soleil is definitely one of the taller people here. You notice that most of the Ganassi are fairly average sized. And then, of course, you got lots of goblins who are very short, as well as the taller people here seem to largely be like bugbears from presumably all manner of goblinoid clans. But if everyone could please make a quick perception check for me.
Oh, okay.
Quick perception check.
I always do so good at these.
Yep.
That's
We're
neat.
such a we're a very
Ooh,
perceptive
19.
group. I also got an 8.
10.
All right.
I got that ancestral home field advantage.
Yeah,
Okay.
Feng-chen really pulling the cultural advantage here. One of the things that Feng notices a lot is that every building here has a like a pictographic symbol on it that you also see on associated with the skyscrapers. Um, they appear to be like the exact same symbol on some of these shops and buildings is the one that is on any given skyscraper. So, for example, there's one that looks like it is like a kind of like a snake kind of curled up, and that same symbol is on one of the big skyscrapers as well as on probably dozens of shops you see. Or you'll see one that is like a wolf made of fire that is on one of the skyscrapers as well as dozens of the shops. None of the shops have the same symbol or have multiple symbols on them. So you only have one on any given one, but they're very much kind of these sprawling circles around each skyscraper is where you see buildings with the same symbol on it, as if they're probably related in some way.
Interesting. Some sort of branding or loyalty broadcasting, perhaps?
with your previous history thing, you know that those are generally tied to the various ruling noble houses of the Solari Empire, otherwise known as the coronal houses, or the Solari court. And it is their kind of family pseudo corporate domains, and each city is carved up amongst them.
Can I ask a quick question? Lore based?
Yeah.
I'm curious as to what, like, there's obviously a lot of different variety in terms of like the people here, but are they mostly speaking vulgar wayfare, or is there a good amount of like goblinoid?
Well, yeah,
spoken?
you hear a fair amount of goblinoid just because there's a lot of goblins
right.
Going around, but mostly people are speaking a Solari dialect of vulgar wayfarer. You will occasionally hear probably some cultural specific primordial words that have been kind of mixed in to the overall Wayfarer dialect here, but mostly people, it's all understandable things that everyone's saying.
Yeah.
Minus if you don't speak Goblinoid, whenever some of the Goblinoids are like talking to each other, like somebody is ordering at a Goblinoid shop, and they're trying to impress them by saying, "See."
Nafisa, do you know Goblinoid?
I know a little bit of Primordial.
Okay. I was about to say, am I going to be the only one here that doesn't know Goblin?
It's okay, Aurora. We can be lost tortoise together.
But
I'm sticking close to these two.
Yeah, as you just kind of walk around, Omega is just kind of taking in everything. They're generally pretty impassive as they look at things, so there's kind of, you see them kind of absorbing everything. However, you also know that them physically moving their body to observe something is kind of unnecessary step, since they presumably see out of much of their body. But they still do it for whatever reason. But yeah, as you guys wander the streets, you hear music and people talking, and you smell various foods and spices. And is there anything you want to immediately do as you're just kind of wandering about here?
I think I would definitely want to try and find us a restaurant. I think that's a huge part of Feng's emotional experience of a place, and she's only really had like fusion cuisine's interpretation of Solari food before, so.
Okay. So Feng's looking for a restaurant. What is Soleil doing?
I think he'd be following Feng.
Okay.
He'd be very down for that.
Aurora?
Mine's on lodging, so probably at least taking a look around for lodging.
Okay. Nafisa?
She's already like stopped at a stall to buy a bag of like off the top of my head, fire flakes, just like a snack bag to eat and walk.
Okay. Yeah, you get like some little like basically kind of like spiced little like rice cake things.
Mm-hmm.
They will be called fire flakes for you. And yeah, as you guys are wandering about, Feng, you see all manner of restaurants and stuff everywhere. Make an investigation check.
Okay.
You're looking for like a real quality, authentic place.
24.
Okay. As you're looking around for real quality, authentic Solari restaurant, you do pass by a Solari like version of like Umbrian cuisine. Like they've tried to do their own Italian restaurant here. And like you'll see like the Café Lyon as the French food here. But as you are looking around, you actually you're so like in the zone looking for things that please make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh, okay.
Huh? Huh? Okay, DM.
That's a
Nat
nat
20,
24.
baby.
Jesus.
Good grief.
As you are
It
looking
feels
around,
weird.
just in the zone, you almost preternaturally were about to collide with someone, but you just like it's one of those things where you just like took a step forward at the exact right time to miss out on it. However, they apparently were trying to avoid walking into you as you were doing that and overcompensated. And you see this this tower falling down, in the sense there is this, 8 foot tall woman with this giant stack of like cloth in her hand, as it was like blocking her sight, and she is tumbling forward. And as she is falling forward, she kind of loops onto the ground and spills a bunch of the cloth in front of her. But you are uncollided with.
I mean, of course, I've got to. I gotta help her up again.
Help gather all the
Yeah,
fabric and such.
Soleil's getting the fabric.
As you guys are picking up fabric, the woman kind of lifts her face up and kind of rubs her head a bit, and looks around a little bleary, and blinks a few times as she looks at Nafisa.
Ooh.
And you
Now that
hear,
I can see her face clearly not in fabrics, is
Yep.
it? All right.
Sister.
Nafisa's chucking the fireflakes at the floor, and then just runs, and jumps, and like glomps onto this woman.
Still on the ground.
Yeah, just fucking jumps. Big sister, I found you.
Nick
Did you
starts
miss
like
me?
hopping along, really happily, doing the whole like dog like foot like paw alternating on the ground, bouncing as her tail wags as she kind of bounces around Nafisa and this woman.
Sister.
Hey,
It's so
sister.
good to see you. And she kind of turns around and holding Nafisa as she begins to stand up. And as she holds Nafisa, Nafisa is like 6 feet tall. And this woman is, still even taller than Nafisa, and is like lifting up Nafisa as she's hugging her. And you see she's like 8 foot tall with these curving horns. She's got these little like red gems on her face, kind of like freckles, dark purple hair, kind of dark skin with little scales around it. She's got these.
Did I just have a meet cute with Nafisa's sister?
Yep.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, you can't see the purple of her hair, I guess, because it's. But she's purple hair. And she's got like these long flowing like scarves, like silk scarves, and she has a long kind of swishing scaled tail that ends in like a little like fluffy little cow fur, kind of like Fung's actually, but with scales.
We have so much in common already.
And as she stands up, you see that she's got hooves that are like kind of clawed at the bottom, and her legs are covered in fur with like little feathers and scales on them. And she's just wearing all of these like flowing, beautiful like silks and robes and stuff on her. As I have a little picture to show you guys that Sif drew.
Picture.
Picture.
And I have posted it in the Twitch chat. And Sif, you can post it in the Discord for everyone if you would like.
On it.
But yeah, so that is her. But yeah, she kind of lifts up and looks at you guys and goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I couldn't see where I was going."
That is quite all right. I am simply glad that I was here to be able to be of assistance.
Got your fabrics here.
Oh, Thank you, sir. She kind of picks them up out of your hand. She bends over to grab them out of your hands. And puts them in like one of her hands as her other hand is squeezing Nafisa tightly.
Yeah, the face is like literally hanging onto that arm like a branch off a tree.
Um,
uh, Aurora.
so, would you mind introducing us, Nafisa?
Oh, yeah. So this is my sister. Sister, this is my party. This is my free company.
Oh, sorry, Nafisa. I should probably do this formally. She kind of, she has a very slight accent of Nafisa's, but it seems like it's very diluted at this point. And she kind of sets Nafisa down and hands Nafisa all the cloth that she was carrying, and she puts both of her hands across her chest over her heart as she bows slightly to you guys and says, "Thank you all for taking such good care of my sister. I am Sharit. It is good to meet you all."
A pleasure.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Sharit.
Um, we should probably do names. My name is Aurora. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It is good to meet you, Aurora. Peace be with you.
I'm Soleil.
Soleil. It is wonderful to meet you. Peace be with you.
And my name is Feng-chen of the clan Wong.
It is wonderful to meet you, Feng-chen of Clan Wong. Once again, I am so sorry for almost crashing into you. May peace be with you as well. It is so wonderful to meet your party, Nafisa. I see you have finally gone on your journey.
Nafisa's going to very gently just shove the fabrics into Soleil's arms and then just climb back up her sister.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It is good to see you. You need to send the letter back to Auntie Fam. You have to. One of the things she told me was that you would not been sending letters back. That's why I came out to find. Well, I mean, I came out for many things, but finding you is a big one. You have to send her letters.
I know,
You
I'm
have to
sorry.
send your mama letters.
I've been traveling so much, it's been difficult to find the time.
But here you are. This time you could take this time to write a letter, or you could, tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. She really misses you. Your mama really misses you, sister.
I'll be sure to, little sister. I will add it to my list of things I need to do. But what brings you here? This is quite a ways away from the mountains.
Well, I was going to go everywhere first, so this is part of everywhere. But Menefisa's just gonna climb back down her sister, and then walk over to Omega and then pick her up again. This is Omega. We are here to look for something for them.
Hello. Shriek goes, it is good to meet you, Omega. Peace be with you, and good luck in finding what you are looking for. We thank you.
They're not much of a talker. It's okay.
And Nyx is kind of pawing at Sharit's leg, and Sharit will pick up Nyx by the top, right behind the front two legs, and kind of swing her around a bit from up there, and Nyx is wagging her tail really happily. Well, I'm so sorry for stumbling in like this. I would you like something to eat? I could drop these things off in my studio, and I could take you somewhere.
Oh yes, that sounds very nice. We actually need to talk about a lot, actually. And then she's going to climb back up her sister to talk to her.
Just Nyx around one arm and Nafisa on the other.
Okay. Okay, sister, I'm not mad that you lied, but you still lied. You and Jacobs lied to me. Premarital sex is real. As she opens up her journal and points at each recording of like, so see, they did it and they're not married. They're not even dating. And then these two people are doing it, and now not. And it points at Zelek and the blue
What?
dragonborn. Oh my god!
Wow.
Oh my
Um, I, huh. Um, I see that your travels have already been very educational.
Nafisa, what is that?
I've been taking notes. I've been taking
Why
notes.
have you
of the
been
research.
taking notes?
Because
What's it say about me?
that you had sex. I didn't see it. I didn't watch. I knew that'd be rude. But
That did happen.
it did happen. It did. When I was little and I was learning from Professor Jacobs first, I found this one weird book, and inside of it there were a lot of weird positions. And then she read
no.
and told me that it wasn't real. It's real.
You told her sex isn't real?
No, I didn't tell her sex isn't real. I'm simply explaining that it is not always that, and that it's when you're a certain age with somebody. Regardless, sister, you know this is not appropriate to talk about in public.
But I have my sister here.
We are still nonetheless in public in front of hundreds of people that are constantly walking by.
Yeah, you see lots of people walking by just staring at you guys because you guys are so fucking weird right now.
Okay, let's go to your studio and then go to a restaurant, okay? Thank you,
Oh,
sister.
okay,
She'll hug her.
I'm sorry, Mr. Soleil, but I'm gonna need you to carry those to my studio. I seem to have my arms full.
No problem at all.
Yeah, Nafisa and Nix are not climbing down.
Yeah. And she kind of strides in front of each of you guys, just because she's so tall compared to everyone around her. um,
I'm glad
But-
to see it runs in the family.
Oh, no. I'm really short back where they're from. Charit is like normal size.
Everyone
What?
is that tall?
Mm-hmm.
I say we go there next.
Shuri will kind of go, "You should see Nafisa's father."
Oh, he's okay. He's like a big boulder.
How big we talking exactly?
Fine.
What? It's just a question.
Not
He's-
an in public question.
Like a boulder
Wow.
I can't pick up.
Wow, what do you think I mean?
Don't worry about it. She's blushing really hard at this point.
I would like to just make a quick insight check.
On who?
I feel like I would.
On
I feel like I
who?
would have
On the
gotten.
vibes?
No, I feel like I would have gotten the sex joke, but yeah, okay. I understood what you were implying. Good.
Pick it up where she's throwing down.
Insight for euphemism joke.
Yeah.
Who's euphemism?
That's autism, baby.
But yeah, she goes, My father is fairly short, but he's not originally, from the tribe itself, but he's one of the shorter minotaurs, but my mother apparently more than made up for it.
Oh, you are also a minotaur.
Yes, my father is minotaur.
As is my mother. What a wonderful coincidence.
Oh, that's wonderful. It did infer a bit based on your own tail and horns, but it is always it's always nice to meet a fellow with a shared lineage.
It has been a day of many delights already.
And you notice that, like, Sharit seems to be way more, like, mature and chill than Nafisa does. She does not seem to be, like, as, I guess, starstruck by everything she encounters, like Nafisa. She's, like, much cooler by comparison. Um, so you could probably also assume she's probably been traveling longer since she doesn't really have the Nafisa accent anymore. Um, but she does weave you through the city until you come to a set of districts that are you see a bear symbol, what appears to be some kind of like uh, rock faceted like bear on the side of buildings. She takes you to what is like the probably second floor of like a warehouse basically. Um, and as she goes up to it, she opens it, and it's literally just like a open warehouse floor that she has various like mannequins set up with fabrics on them, various kinds of things that like Feng would know this well because of just her experiences in crafting stuff. There's lots of like different cultures like sewing machines and sewing materials around, um, and there's like these very like lush curtains over the windows, especially at night. So the room isn't entirely red. She like turns on a normal light inside of it that creates like normal light. That now you see Cherie in all of her colored glory, as well as all these beautiful colored like silks and cloths and stuff that Soleil is holding. And she's got like a bed which is very much like made from very like plush cushions and different like fabric types. And she's got like various like drawing boards around with like Meris would know this very well from doing cosplay, like measurements and stuff on them of like fabric designs and stuff. And yeah, it's just like this very open space with a lot of her work stuff there. um and she kind of directs you to set the fabrics down near one of her workstations.
I had a few folks back in college that had flats like this. It's oddly nostalgic in that way.
Oh, that's wonderful. Are you a crafter as well?
Oh, and she just kind of reaches into her giant pack that she has on her back, just like, painter. Uh, so none of those kind of like physical crafts like costuming or outfits and such.
Ah,
But it's a similar trade, I think, in
there's
principle.
certainly transferable skills between the two.
Mm.
uh,
Ah,
but
absolutely incredible.
it's been a wonderful studio the last few months that I've been here. um Thankfully, when I arrived in the city, uh, I submitted a portfolio, and House Onyx Bear was uh, kind enough to lend me one of their studios while I was in town to work on some of my latest fashion fusion designs. So I've been settling in here well, but I think I'll probably be leaving, in the not so distant future. I wanted to make my way further west, maybe go to uh, the Valkorans or perhaps to uh, the Argent Union or something. I hear that they have a very interesting mix of aquatic based materials in the undertow.
Fascinating. I would love to see some of the things that you have crafted. I just recently finished some of my own works, gesturing at whomstever in the party is currently wearing something that she's made.
Aurora's wearing the what you made for her.
What about Nafisa?
She is still clutching onto her sister's torso and just like looking around happily at seeing her sister come so far.
um,
That is, Auntie Fan would be very proud of you, sister.
I'm glad to hear that. I sometimes wonder if she would wish for me to return, but my my journey is nowhere near done.
That's good, because your aunt, your mama wants you to return. My babu wants me to return, but we can keep going as long as we like.
I will say I do miss uh Mom's cooking. I miss her bread so much.
Do remind me, I was trying to forget.
Oh, oh, I'm sorry, sister. Uh, but as she says that, she kind of crouches down on one knee because she's so tall to look at Aurora's like cheapao closer. And goes, "Ooh, this is excellent craftsmanship. I see that you integrated several personalized goblinoid symbols into it."
Yes, I wanted to welcome my party into, if not my clan proper, the iteration of my clan that I seek to I seek to put upon the world.
Well, I will say that you have done wonderful work, Miss Feng-chen. And
Fong is more than enough if it would please you more.
if that is what you desire, Feng, would you mind if I examine your dress closer, Miss Aurora?
Oh, yep. Go ahead.
She puts down Nyx, who just kind of latches onto her other leg at this point.
Mhm.
And then she has Nafisa on one arm, and she has her now free arm, and she, kind of looks closely and kind of touches your dress in various parts, just examining it closer. This does a wonderful job complementing your figure.
I thought so too. My compliments to the artist.
Please, you're too kind. I had wonderful canvas to work with.
She is very red right now.
If you could see Soleil wiggling his eyebrows, he definitely would be.
The mask goes up and down.
It does, I especially appreciate the attention you took to ensure that it hugs the hips appropriately.
Oh,
As she says to Fung.
Nafisa's
oh
pogging.
yes, she has,
Don't
as we have noticed.
don't say it.
She's not gonna say it, but she's looking at you with the I can totally say it. You can't stop me.
I Nafisa, what was it you had referred
No,
to
I think you
don't
had I
in
think
say
you
that
had a
again?
really particular coin of phrase for it.
Are we
Hmm.
are we in a good private space? Is it okay for me to say it here? Looks at Shari.
I'm telling you no.
She kind of raises an eyebrow, like, Nafisa, what have you been saying about your companion's hips?
Oh, they're very good at childbearing hips.
She is just the brightest red you've probably ever seen.
I'm not wrong. I mean, look, they're very nice.
Omega interjects. It is usually followed by reiterating hips several times while pointing frantically at her. You just hear Sharit sigh and kind of roll her eyes. Nafisa.
No, she is not wrong.
She talked me into taking my top off in the bath. It's back at her.
No. First I tell you don't, and then you throw me under the bus like that.
You see her head very slowly rotates to look at Aurora
no.
as she
No,
looks
no.
down, squinting.
It was simply just that she seemed like she was ashamed of her physical self, and I wanted to make sure that she knew that she was attractive and beautiful and very muscular. So it's simple as that. It's just trying to hype a girl up.
I
Oh, yes.
see.
Don't hit me.
Not going to hit you. Nafisa, what have you told these people about me?
Nothing, but I mean, I can tell them about how you used to hit me when we were kids.
No, that is entirely out of context.
No, I want to hear all sorts of stories.
Could we do it over dinner though? I'm kind of hungry, sister.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I got all distracted when it came to fashion. You know how I am.
Same way Auntie is with her bread.
Well, I know that it isn't like mother's, but I know a wonderful tea house in the penumbra that we could go to. I've been frequenting it. They do some of the most delightful desserts and tea.
Ooh, desserts for dinner. Auntie would never let us. Ooh, you've gotten so bad since you've been gone.
It's all my travels. They must be driving me to mischief, as she kind of giggles. Um, but if you could please just drop the cloth over there, and I will show you all to the tea house.
Yeah,
Okay.
certainly.
All right.
All right, and with that, she will pick up Nyx again, so that Nyx unpries herself from her leg, and is now continuing to double fist Nyx and Nafisa as she leads you guys out of her studio. And you walk for probably about 10 minutes as she kind of weaves you through the city, till you head to an area that does not have the any of the kind of like animal branding on them, and they are very distinctly, as Feng and Soleil would notice, a goblinoid neighborhood. You see lots of like goblinoid characters, and the housing is stylized differently from the kind of like purely glass motif that everything else in Zuhai has, to much more of like a combination of materials of like wood and metal and like concrete, but also like a surprising amount of glass compared to where you guys are used to for goblinoid things. But as you enter that neighborhood, Feng very specifically notices that amongst the goblinoid characters is symbols for Clan Wong. Surprisingly, it's a bit more stylized in how they paint it, and its full thing is Wong Juhai, but it is definitely Clan Wong's characters.
What on earth? This is Clan Wall?
Um, Sheree kind of goes, "Oh, I think I've heard some of them say that. I'm not super proficient with Goblinoid, but um, I would presume that this probably is some connection to Clan Wong. Perhaps they're related to you."
Distantly so, but yes, that. Huh. I was not expecting to run into extended family, at least so quickly after arrival.
Well, then I guess it is more wonderful coincidences. As she kind of squeezes Nafisa a little tighter, gives her a smooch on the head.
You got a big family then, Fong?
Oh, as big as any spread out goblinoid clan can be.
Soleil's kind of quiet at that.
It is not the biggest, but it is still, despite some of my troubles with it, it is still certainly something that I hold a great deal of pride in, perhaps would be the best term.
Hmm. I'll get that.
Something that Feng knows that I messaged Feng about, but the rest of the characters wouldn't necessarily know. But because there are so many goblinoid clans that reside in the Solari Empire and Sirikad, just because of historical reasons, as well as when the desolation happened and the goblinoid homeland was destroyed, a lot of goblinoid refugees continued to settle in the Solari Empire and Sirikad. That there's a lot of families and branch families of clans. So what is kind of culturally different for goblinoid clans in the Elemental East versus like in the UFAS where Feng is from is clan names usually have your like city or like state or whatever included in the name so that it helps distinguish, oh yeah, this is clan Wang Zuhai as opposed to like clan like Tirathil over in or clan Wang Tirathil over in Sirikad. Just because families splinter in so much that there's a lot more clans that share names, and so it's a way of distinguishing them from each other. Where that's not really the case as much in like the UFAS or in the Imperium or with the Vanyaskins or anything. Just because it's like, oh yeah, there's the clan Wang. They're the only clan here of clan Wang. So that's just something Feng knows as cultural context. But Sharit will take you to a tea house that you go in and you see, fair amount. Probably this is a fairly large communal tea house. Probably about like 100 people in it. Most of them different types of goblinoids. Some of them, you see a couple Ganassi in there, as well as like you'll see like one of the like sailors that like are from the Durandal that just like happen to be chilling there, like having tea at a quarter kind of thing as he talks to some goblin girl. But as you enter, there is something very nostalgic about this for Feng and to a lesser degree for Soleil. And you see like great kind of scrolls on the wall showing like all these like goblinoid tales and stuff, all of that very calligraphic writing and painting. Some of them are these like pictures of landscapes like that obviously none of you recognize, and some of them will show like more stylized versions of perhaps people or historical scenarios or something. But there's all of this artwork all around the room, hanging from the walls.
Soleil is very much looking at the artwork, taking perhaps a little bit too much time, and is sort of trailing behind the group as they walk. But he's being mindful to at least stay within eyeshot of everybody.
Yeah, a goblin will kind of come up to you guys and look at Sharit and the gang and go, "Oh, Miss Sharit, it's so good to see you again. I see you've brought friends." She goes, "Yes, it's my sister and her party. They have come from far away, and I took them to the best tea house I know." And the goblin kind of giggles, and she goes, "Come, come. A friend of Sharit is a friend of ours." And she directs you to a big table where you guys can sit down at. And there's like some little glasses of water that get poured, and you guys get little menus put down. And the table itself is very much like the wall paintings. It's like wood that's been carved in with like rolling scroll work along the edges, as if it is one continual story that extends around in Goblinoid. For those of you who speak Goblinoid, you can read it, and it is talking about just it's a poem actually, about a an orchard in a faraway land, and about these like apples that were being grown there, being used in a tea that brought a family together, kind of thing. It's just like some little poem story that's scrolled in about peace and family.
Hmm.
Wow, Sharit, you've become a real local. I don't really stick around one place long enough for this.
Just, well, I've been here a few months and I'm rather distinctive, so even if I only came a few times, they would remember me quite distinctly.
Yeah, we are weird looking.
No, we're just simply uh, alien to them. Not many of us find our ways this far east in any number or for very long.
Yeah. So dessert?
Uh,
I can't help but imagine, but like every time Nafisa's like looking up at her sister, it's the fucking like photo Tina fucking rat meme. Like bulging eyes.
uh, if you all like, I can order some desserts for us from things that I have had that I enjoy.
Oh,
Of course.
please
Uh,
do.
yes,
All right.
I would love to see.
When the goblin comes back, she orders a series of pastries and desserts and rounds of tea for everyone. Um, and the goblin will come back, and you see like all of these things. Like one of the particulars is they're like these honey kind of soaked like rice cakes that have like a bunch of different like fruit jams around them that you can basically spread the jam over each given honey cake. Um, and it's like, there's peach and rose and like raspberry and everything. And so it's just like this little circle of little cups of different types of jam amongst a center plate of these honey cakes. Um, as well as she gets like these little like ice cream desserts uh that are around of like little like cherry blossom and like matcha and also like there's this kind of swirl of vanilla, raspberry and like chocolate together, and with like pieces of fruit in some of them. And then, of course, she gets all these different varieties of tea. Everybody has their own different type of tea that is intended to share amongst each other, so that you all can experience each different flavor together. Everything is very communal in how it's structured. Which, for fun, this is just how life is in a goblinoid clan.
Hmm. Oh my gosh.
Y'all really know how to make a little event out of every meal, don't you?
Do Fung or Soleil want to comment about that?
Well, I do not know if it's much of an event, but this is simply how one should endeavor to treat every meal. An opportunity, perhaps.
I mean, I did, but did not grow up with uh, goblinoid culture, so my upbringing's a little different. But um, you know, eating's the privilege of the living and all that, so you gotta make the most of every meal, right?
For whatever it is worth, Soleil, I would never ask you to forsake the connection you have with your clan, but so too do I consider you a member of my clan. Not precisely of Clan Wong, but of my personal clan.
Kinda cocks his head in a very curious expression, like, you making your own family branch there, Fung.
Well, sometimes one must extend a bit out of the orthodox, I suppose.
Hmm. Well, thank you.
As a note, I know that there was thought about having Feng and Soleil talk about goblin stuff. Do you want to do it now, or would you prefer a more one-on-one discussion about it?
It, it could be now. I just don't want to like hijack the scene if anybody else wants to talk to anybody else, including the mega hot, 8 foot tall woman here. So
Mm. I
You
mean,
know,
look, if you want me to put the moves on again, I can certainly have fun, give it the shot.
I mean, Feng's right. We are a party, so we're basically a clan. So we could eat like this whenever we wanted when we have a nicer, living situation.
Of course.
We're on a big boat now, Shardit.
Oh, you're on a boat?
Yeah. I can. Is there a window in this tea house that overlooks like the
No, this is
harbor or
actually
anything? No.
fairly interior. It's a less desirable location.
Well, that's
Hmm.
okay. I took a photo of it. Look, see? It's just like a selfie of Nafisa in front of the fucking destroyer.
Oh, are you invading this place?
No. We are bartering it. We are bartering it on behalf of. Wait, can we talk about? Wait, Lucian's look. She
I
panics
don't
and looks at Aurora. Can we talk about this?
I don't
This
think
is what
that's the
this is.
right word in the first place. We are merely visiting.
Yeah, we're torting. We're torting. We're barring the ship from the.
Mm.
No, but it's my sister. I can tell her. I can tell her, and then I can write letters to my grandpa and my auntie. Right.
A
That's okay.
very influential family from the UFAS.
Oh, I didn't realize you found yourself working with somebody so important, Nafisa. That is wonderful.
Yeah. If you see our names and photos in any weird newspapers, though, saying something about a crime, it's not us.
Mm.
What?
No
She
face.
has gotten to be something of a bit of a joker, I'm afraid, your
It's
sister.
my sister. It's my sister.
I know. I know.
Soleil's just in his little corner of like the table, just like his mask slightly lifted up, drinking his tea. Just yep, no crimes here.
But
Well,
yeah.
I do not know how long you will be here, but um I have heard that one of your father's friends lives to the far north if you ever have time to see her.
Oh, we can go see her. We can go see her. And then looks back at the party expectantly.
I mean, we got stuff to do here first, right, Nafisa?
Yeah. But afterwards, if we take a little long and tell Captain Stormsplight that we need more time, and we just go north to see her. Don't tell me which one. Don't tell me which one. I want to find her.
Kind of laughs. He goes, "Okay, well, I hope you do. I only met her one time, so I unfortunately can't really give that much information. I've just heard in passing about her here. Is your friend going to eat anything?" She looks over at Omega.
Oh, I mean, Omega, do you want to eat?
We do not need to eat. It is a waste of time.
Oh, so you wouldn't mind if I she looks expectantly at your at Omega's food.
If you wish to have some, you can partake. We would find perhaps the increase in your caloric intake to assist you in your own endeavors, albeit you should be wary of the sheer amount of sugar you're consuming. it could potentially affect you negatively if you continue down this path.
That's okay. I work out lots.
Aurora looks down at her tummy. Uh, I mean, it's kind of nice.
It is very helpful to be able to work with a model of your figure.
Uh, thank you.
You
Soleil
have
nods
very
his
nice
head
hips.
sagely.
But yeah, so you could eat all of it. And just Shrek goes, "Oh, well, what a delightful assessment." Uh, well, it sounds like you are doing such wonderful things, Nafisa. I feel like I am just uh, living such a simple life by comparison.
What are you talking about? You've been to lots of places. Did you see all the different shit that's in your warehouse?
I mean, those fabrics were very fine quality. I could tell.
Thank you, Mr. Soleil. That means a lot to me. I'm trying to expand my cultural knowledge of different fashion styles and techniques. I've been working on various fusion elements.
I would love to share notes if it would please you sometime. I do not know how long we are to be here either, but for the time being, at least, let it be a pleasant.
Oh, of course, of course. I don't know if you all are staying in a fancy hotel or anything, but you were
We
always.
haven't anything yet.
Oh, I. Well, then you're always. If you would like, you can stay at my studio. There's plenty of space. I don't necessarily have uh, bedding set up for everyone, but I'm sure I could find it.
I would that be okay? Because we can like we have a we can
Oh,
go to a hotel and then
we don't want to
uh,
impose or nothing.
Did you not wish to spend more time with your sister?
well, yeah, but she's got her own adventures to go on.
I suppose we wouldn't wish to be inconvenient to you.
Well, it would be the least I can do if you want, but I will not stop you from your own adventures and your fine hotels that are all available. I assume you
Well,
all
thank
make lots and lots of money and serving with your warships and your rich families in the UFAS.
Just
Hmm.
noting that Aurora's kind of looking to the side as this conversation goes on.
It's okay, sister. I know where you live now, so I can come bother you whenever I want. Until you're not there anymore.
Of course, of course. Well, if now that we've had a chance to reconnect, if I know that I'll be likely moving soon. Um, if you have so much money, you could always have a some kind of spellcaster send me a sending spell or something, and I can tell you wherever I wind up next for how long, and you can send a letter to me there.
Oh yeah. Do they need anything from me? We have a wizard. Aurora, so smart. Aurora, do you need anything from my sister for the sending spell? Do you need to like look at her better as she like if he just grabs Aurora's head and turns it back towards Shuri?
Um, no, I can most certainly. We are well enough acquainted.
Okay, but if you need anything else, don't be afraid to ask my sister.
Shariq kind of
Right.
strikes a pose as she kind of pushes forward her chest and like puts one hand behind her head as she kind of looks to the side, smiling as she flicks one of her scarves around her neck to the side and goes, "I think this should be enough of a view."
Yes, it is more than adequate.
That was weird.
Hmm? What was weird?
You're a
It
very
was a
beautiful
cog.
woman, Shari.
Thank you, Miss Aurora. Kind of smiles and takes a sip of her tea.
Oh wait, I should take a. She just takes her photo out and like in the middle of the tea sip takes the photo, and not at all capturing her beautiful pose from earlier.
Get this candid moment of her taking a sip of tea, as it includes several members of your party like awoogaing towards her.
You should send this to your mama to auntie.
She looks at the picture and kind of smiles, and then she kind of squints closer at it, and she looks at, around the table and just kind of chuckles to herself. um, I'm sure that Auntie, I'm sure that Mom would love to see this.
Mhm.
I would love to hear about your adventures if you all would be interested. It seems like you do very secretive things now. I'm not sure what you can or cannot tell me, but I always would love to hear about what you've been doing, Nafisa.
She's like looking back at the party like she's gonna die.
I mean, you can tell her about most of the things. You can tell her about the last adventure. Let's go with that.
We fought a worm.
That
Is a way to put it.
That's a tad oversimplified. I mean, to be fair, it was a very big worm.
Oh,
With a Y more so than an O.
Nafisa, you did a pretty good job of describing it to our shipmates before. Why are you having so much trouble now?
It's my sister. I want to be cool. I mean, I haven't let her home either because we don't
You
have a name or anything yet, and I
no,
just.
Nafisa,
Mm.
you're trying to be cool, so you say we fought a worm rather than saying the more detailed explanation, which included the fact that it was the Sapphire Sea.
Okay,
oh,
so
you went to the Sapphire Sea, Nafisa?
yeah. We went there to get Omega, because Omega was supposed to be some super powerful weapon, and I mean, just look at them. They're very cool and very powerful. And then before that we came across the Leviathan, you know, the big scary monster we hear stories about
Oh
for the
yeah,
Sapphire Sea.
I heard that it kills anyone who comes into its territory.
Yeah, Nyx killed it. She just holds up
Oh, the
Nyx.
Nyx's
That
tail
that,
or
that
tongue
is
kind of
true.
flops out of her mouth. She kind of just pants.
Oh, I, I guess he, I guess she did.
Yeah, we all fought long and hard, and then Nyx tore out its some of its insides, and it fell over. Here's a photo. It's just like the fucking corpse of the Leviathan melting away, and the party just like in front of it, all brewed and battered and bruised. Nafisa just smiling.
Oh wow, that's incredible, Nyx. He kind of grabs Nick's face and kind of scrunches it up a bit. Nyx kind of giggles and goes, "You know, I'm a pretty big deal."
Oh.
She certainly is what I would say if I understood Dragonoid.
Yeah, Soleil gets to
Soleil's the one who
understands
mixed that up.
perfectly.
Yeah.
He just nods again.
That is incredible, Nafisa. I'm so happy to see you've already done so many great things.
They're going to make stories about us, but we need a name first and more adventures that we can like talk about because like yeah, don't worry about it.
You're really hung up on that name, aren't you, Nafisa?
I want to tell my auntie and uncle and my grandpa about us, but I don't want to send us a really long-winded name and they talk about us like, oh, you know, the free company for covers her mouth. You know, it's, it's okay. I know you guys said the name, a good name will come when it comes, and you're right. I will be patient, but you know, here I am lecturing my sister about sending letters home, and then I haven't done it either. It's not a good look.
Hmm. I suppose that's a fair point.
Okay, I'm in no rush, but once we got one, I'm going to be writing a lot of letters. So if there are things you don't want me to mention, you're going to have to make that very clear, okay?
I think you can skip most of what you said about us earlier.
No, I will say lots of things about you guys to my family. And include photos like this one, and she holds up like the one of you guys all awoogaing a chariot.
No, that is fair. That is a fairly accurate depiction. I would not wish to lie. At first impression, that would be a terrible one.
No, your first impression will always be good, because my parents know that I love you guys. My family knows that I love you guys.
Your mother would be so proud to hear about all of this.
When we find her, I'm going to tell her lots of stories. Same way she told us. Or to me, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, of course. um, well, if there's anything else you all would like to order, let me know and I can see if I can figure out something that would be a good fit for it. Uh, Otherwise, I know you're all very important and I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Sister? And she'll like in the middle of this restaurant just get up from her seat and then climb onto her sister and look her in the eye. Don't say it like that. You are very important too. You have a whole warehouse. I live in a fucking 2 foot by 2 foot room.
She so rarely talks like this. I must say, this is rather unusual.
Nafisa, I see you have picked up many things in your travels.
I know many words, and like I assume she'll pick up. I really love the idea that Soleil teaches her swear words in Goblinoid.
Absolutely.
But don't put yourself down.
It's okay. We all must build our hoards differently. She kind of hugs Nafisa again. But I I think that then I should wrap things up, for I have been struck with inspiration having met you all. You know where I live now. If you wish to come by, I will always be happy to see you and to take you out for food. But I think I need to head home and get some work done before bed.
Okay. You get your rest, okay, sister?
Yes, little sister. Squeezes you and nicks again. Um, and she will get up from the table and walk over to the goblin and say some things and hand her some very like shiny coins. These Each of the coins has like a little like stylized phoenix on one side of it and a what is some like words in like the Solari dialect and stuff on the other side, basically saying like uh the eternal cycle of the eternal cycle will be reborn. And there's like a little picture of the of specifically a circle inside of the coin to symbolize Termina, the goddess of death. And she hands over some coins, and she gives Nafisa Nyx another big hug and bows to you guys with her hands over her heart and wishes you all good night. after you
I
finish
dare say
snapping.
that bodes quite well.
Yeah, what a happy coincidence running into your family.
My family is like all over the place, so we'll keep running into them wherever we go.
Oh, I guess we'll
Yes,
be on the lookout for very tall
giants.
beings.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, not all of them are like me and Charit. I've got I have an auntie who's a plant. I've got a goblinoid auntie. I have a
A plant.
Banyaskin uncle.
I mean,
Yeah.
out of character, I can't remember the furball comber's
Nightshade.
name.
They're called nightshades.
Right. You mean a nightshade?
Oh, yeah, Nightshade. Sorry, I'm thinking back to my first thoughts on them when I first met them. A lot of them worked with my dada and mama and I met them when I was like really little, once or twice.
Interesting.
How long's it been since you last saw Sharit?
When I was probably 12 or 13, she went. No. She went on a journey then, and when she came back, I was around 18 or 19, making my own preparations. And then she spent time with the family, and then told auntie and uncle that she would be traveling again. There was some big fighting. They talked it out, and then yeah, no, I haven't seen Charit for 34 to 5 years.
That's it's a long time to go without seeing your sibling.
It's okay. Even though the world's a big place, I'll find them again, like I just did now.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I guess that's a nice way of looking at it.
Do you have any siblings you want to go see? Because we could go see them.
Me? Oh,
Yeah.
uh, well, I mean, yeah, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon.
Oh, so you get to meet my sister, but I don't get to meet your sibling?
Listen, if you can figure out a way to get back to the Feywild, we can go visit, but
Oh, we will. We will, Soleil. And we are going to meet your siblings and be really cool with them and, watch you be nervous with your siblings next time.
it's not nervous for myself. I'm worried about. I think my sister will have y'all running in circles.
Oh,
That's okay. I like running.
You like a
it's
trickster or something?
That's a mild way of putting it. Yeah, she's fixing to be a real dangerous Fey, that one.
Yeah, but we're like your friends, so she wouldn't do anything bad to us, right?
Um, let's just say, be very careful with your choice of words around her.
Oh,
one
I'm
of
not
those
good
Oh,
with
that's a.
that.
types of
I'll
thing.
say that's a problem with for you, Nafisa.
Yeah, can she understand Draconic? Because if I speak in Draconic to her,
No, I don't imagine she does.
she'll just say in Draconic that she'll be very careful with her words. So, do we want to go look for some place to spend the night? Do we want to stay at a hotel? I mean, if we could stay somewhere near my sister, that wouldn't be bad either. We could ask that bear family if we could.
Yeah, I think that'd be nice. I'm sure you'd like to stay close by.
Mm-hmm. Give us House Onyx there. They probably have an inn in that district we can stay at. Omega, while you were walking around, did you pick up on anything that might be of interest to you?
We've begun to synchronize with the local ley energies, but we feel that they are weak here. We would need to get farther north where we have begun to feel the stronger connection point. Probably the main ley line flows that way.
We can start checking out that direction tomorrow. Also important. Did you like my sister? I couldn't really tell.
Your sister seems to be a much more responsible person than you.
That means yes. That means yes. Mhm. That is my sister. Okay, though. We should go look for somewhere to stay the night, though. Is there anything else you guys want to deal with?
Hmm.
Get some
Yeah.
rest for tonight.
Yeah, it's starting to
Yes.
get a little late.
Okay. You guys finish up your meal and head out. Um, you can find a hotel. You know, if you want to stay in the area of Sharit, you can find a little House Onyx Fair hotel. You know, how many stars are you guys looking at from 1 to 5?
Uh,
Hmm.
3 being the lowest you can actually achieve in a House Onyx Fair owned or related facility.
Oh.
I would say 3.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
uh-huh.
Very like average. You know, you got your your Marriott. um,
Plenty fancy for me.
are you guys doing 2 rooms again, or
Do you want to share a big room? We could get a bigger room, right?
yeah, get like a suite?
Yeah,
I'm alright with that.
Yeah.
I would be fine.
You guys,
just like a yurt. Sorry.
it Omega goes from our awareness. It has literally nothing in common with the Earth.
Yeah, but we're all like under one big thing together.
You have described a room.
She's just like so defeated.
I mean, Nafisa, if you want me to summon one of the little shacks that I can make, and you
No,
want,
no, it's okay. When we get a proper like airship to make home, I will get us a nice yurt on it.
I mean, fair enough.
Um, but yeah, you guys get a nice suite. It will have 3 beds in it. Because I presume there is at least an assumption that there would not be 4 beds.
hmm
And Omega insists that they don't need a bed, so they just do their puddle time.
Typical Omega.
Yep. So
All time.
as you guys are settling into your room, is now the opportunity you'd like to chat Soleil and Feng?
Sure, we can
Yeah.
chit chat. Find a little corner of the room as we're getting ready and cozy for the night. I think Soleil would approach Feng, and he still has a slight air of caution about him, like he doesn't want to like spook you just by like blatantly approaching. But just kind of gooch on up and sit close to you and looks you over. Just um, can I can I ask you something, Fung?
Certainly.
I was I was just wondering if, while we're here in the Solari Empire, I mean, you know a lot more about, you know, goblinoid culture here than I do. I mean, already I can tell this is a lot different than what my father would have been used to. I was just I was wondering if I could uh, stick close to you and ask you like questions and stuff while we're here.
I see no reason why you should not be able to. Is this something you're particularly concerned with?
Concerned. I don't know if that's the right word I'd use, but you see, my plan is very uh, and you see he kind of pauses and struggles to find the right word. Small. And I'm not used to a lot of the cultural dynamics. It's it's all very new to me, and I would like to learn.
I see. You're, I suppose I have yet to ask, but your father, I take it, was not able to be with you long.
Well, it's not that exactly. Um, I mean, he lived probably a good bit longer than he ever thought he would. But unfortunate things, happen. And he kind of pauses a moment, and this is probably the first time that you've ever seen Soleil even remotely look somber. Like there is something like weighing on him as you talk about this. He just kind of awkwardly rubs the back of his neck, just well, the fact of the matter is, I'm I'm the last one of my father's clan. It was just us two left.
Uh, I, my condolences. That is a terrible burden to have to bear.
I don't I don't really view it as a burden. It was one of the proudest moments of my life when he named me. It's just hard to connect to that part of my life if he's not there.
I think I understand what you mean. Hmm.
So I'm sure you can probably imagine that I'm pretty glad to be here.
Of course, this is regardless of uh, the circumstances that brought you into this world, you are still just as much a part of it, of all of this, as any other goblinoid.
Hmm. Thank you for saying so.
I I would not say it if I did not believe it. I must say, though, this is a rather unusual experience for me. I do not often see this particular side of you, I suppose.
Huh. I mean, not cracking jokes and hitting on you.
I'm sorry? Hitting on me? You haven't been hitting on me.
He just kind of stares at you for a second. Just right. No, definitely have not done that.
Can I do an insight check here?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, come on, big numbers. Oh my
Nat
god.
one.
I won.
That one. Oh, the autism
Oh,
is
the
strong.
dice. The
Hey,
dice tell
she
the
at least
story.
knew that Aurora was hitting on her.
It's lore accurate. Lore
More
accurate.
accurate.
Oh no. I Oh, please continue.
No. I mean, not to say that I wouldn't at some point. I mean, you're a very lovely individual.
I'm certain beneath whatever I assume some manner of fey, deer, or beast. I'm certain beneath that you are very aesthetically pleasing as well.
I've been told many times as such.
Yes, I believe that at some point Nafisa is going to explicitly hear as much.
Huh. Uh, I am curious about what goes on in that little notebook of hers.
It's quite nice, I must say.
You read it?
Oh, not all of it. Some of it, though, yes.
He kind of scooches closer, like I want. What are the details?
Well, it's her work. Have you not seen her paintings?
Uh, you mean Aurora's work?
Oh, yes, yes.
Oh, right, right. No, no. Yeah. Her. I mean, her work is very lovely, as I must say was yours.
Mm.
So thank
Thank you.
you for your gift. I mean, really.
It was the least I could do. I felt merited trying to clean the air.
I'm glad that despite what happened, despite what could possibly happen in the future, I'm glad that we can be friends now.
As am I. Do not usually think of myself as particularly gifted socially, but I appreciate that my meager efforts have gotten me this far into this company.
And don't get me wrong, I'm very appreciative of it. But I mean, you don't gotta give us stuff to make us like you. You know that, right? Like, you talk very fine. You don't need to, you know, give us gifts to impress us or make us like you. I think you're
Mm,
doing a pretty fine job as it is.
My thanks. I have found that when one does not appreciate or admire the base materials provided with them, that you can only hope to look towards a different perspective. I'm glad that people see that in me, even if I still need some convincing of my own.
Hmm. Well, I think I think you and I will get plenty of talking practice in over the next couple days.
Yes, I would be happy to try and smooth any of the concerns you have for feeling welcome, I suppose, with the Solari region at large. I will certainly do what I can for that.
It'll be good to get some language practice in too. I haven't had many people to practice on.
Of course. Though, if we're speaking of language, there's something I suppose I should also ask. I I seem to be missing some cues in as much as those of the party around us, and I can't help but wonder, do I not understand what flirting is?
Well, I would say in that regard, you could definitely use a bit of practice, additional practice. Um, you see, not to be too terribly blunt about it, but I have, as a matter of fact, flirted with you in the past before.
Nat
Yes.
20. Yin
She
yang.
reflects on that for a moment. Yes, I suppose in hindsight, but ah,
When we
yes.
were kind of bickering, I did kind of suggest there were other ways of resolving this, but
Ah, ah, yes, hmm, hmm, interesting.
you don't have to, take me up on that offer. Offer's on the table, though.
Well, I suppose it would be best to see all of the sides involved.
How many sides do
I
you think I got?
well, I I have a theory. Uh, so As you have seen, I too have a mask. And I am wondering how much of the you that you think yourself is tied so closely to the mask. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh. Oh, you're trying to get a peek behind the curtain. Well, sorry to disappoint you, uh, Miss Fung, but it'll take a fair amount of convincing to let me show you that.
Oh, I do not mean to impose. More, I wonder. I I cannot help but wonder how much of the you that I think I understand is the mask you wear and the mask you perform versus an actual true self. I have a tendency to overthink and overword such things. My apologies if that is not fully clear.
Well, I suppose if the intention is to get to know me better, there are ways of going about that as well.
Hmm. Well, regardless of what you think of your mask, whether it's gesturing at the deer head or whether your mask is what you wear underneath that, I look forward to learning the difference.
Hmm. Well, you let me know what you figure out then. And he'll sort of lift a hand and just kind of trace the outline of your mask. For what it's worth, your mask is quite pretty too.
Which one?
Both.
Hmm. I wonder if this is what Aurora sees in you.
Huh. Well, I guess there must be something remotely likable about me. She's a good girl.
Come now. There's only room so great in this party as for one of us to have such crises of conscience at a time.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But I would appreciate the opportunity to know you better, to know your our culture better, and I think we'll have a very good time in whatever way that might potentially manifest.
Then I look forward to finding out whatever that way may be.
Gives a nod of his head, and he'll stand up and scooch on over to back to his side of the room where I imagine there's probably not a lot of privacy for that conversation. So
I
As you
don't
turn
imagine
away,
so.
probably 5 feet away from you is just Omega staring at you two.
oh hey Omega.
I
You
see
guys
you
have a good little
continue.
flirt.
Sorry,
Go
you,
ahead.
you go, Aurora.
It's like you guys have a good little flirt session over there.
Was that what flirting is?
Yeah, it was maybe not as productive as I usually am. Maybe I'm losing my touch, but that's all right. It was a good conversation.
I wouldn't say you're losing your touch.
Thank you.
Haha, you
Feng,
guys are making out.
Feng just quietly to herself. No, that is definitely what she sees in him. Yes.
Yes, it appears that he is continuing to trying to procreate with most of this assembly of people.
Should we like add that as a warning whenever we invite people to our party? It's like, hi, you look really cool. Would you like to join us? Also, this is Soleil. He may want to kiss you.
Maybe don't do that.
It does
So
seem to
you
be
don't have to kiss
merited, though.
Lunas?
I I did not say that. I can appreciate attractiveness from any person without necessarily wanting to kiss them.
Aurora
This
just
is
chuckles
Inside.
before. Just
pretty
chuckles before,
interesting.
like strutting towards her own bedroom.
Aurora, do you want to take this opportunity to talk to Omega or to talk to Nethrys?
Let's do the Omega conversation.
Yep.
So, I imagine just like one of the things that Aurora's working on is just as Feng saw, she was very, very close to finishing her piece of the Sapphire Sea. And at this point, she is able to get it done. Um, and just essentially, while she's kind of sitting there looking at it, and just as we all know, pieces are never really truly finished. It's just you just feel you are just done with what you have to do or what you feel like you can do with it. So she'll just kind of take a deep sigh, look at it, nod it to herself, and just say, "All right, Omega, you mind coming in here for a moment?"
Omega comes into the room. Is there
As-
something you require?
You don't have to be so formal about it, but I figured there's something that your eyes might be the best to see in order to best get some kind of um feedback or what have you.
They look you, up and down. Their eyes, kind of doing that lens aperture, zooming in, zooming out thing.
Mhm.
And we find it peculiar that you would be requesting our opinion on one of your creations.
Well, I suppose given the fact that what I have captured here is, in a way, a part of you, I thought that you might be the best person to say, well, give your thoughts. And I can take criticism, believe me.
Uh, they walk over to you and go, "What is it you would like us to see?"
Well, I suppose my main goal was just to sort of capture the majesty of the Sapphire Sea. Less so in terms of conveying any sort of deeper meaning, but more so demonstrating the fluidity and the beauty of this very seemingly unnatural world wonder, and how something that does not occur anywhere else in the world, well, how it can be shared with others.
They look at your painting. Describe your painting at this stage.
Yeah, so it's basically done. Like all the finishing touches, at least from her side of things, she feels are there. So just like essentially just the s- it's shows the sort of sand of the Sapphire Sea, or sand, whatever the right word may be.
Yeah.
Um, and just like you can sort of see the sort of pattern of it sort of moving up and down with like different shadings happening as it moves across the canvas of the painting. It doesn't come off the frame, but it's just sort of like viewable from that distance. In the background, there's of course just like a large, just there's a hilly background with just more of the general area. It's really is just a simple landscape painting, but she took a lot of effort in sort of trying to animate it in the way that it was to demonstrate sort of what makes it so unique.
As Omega looks at the painting, they, hold it and seem to be scanning it for a while. And as they stare at it, they say, "This is a acceptable approximation of what you likely viewed, albeit it is clearly inaccurate and imperfect in its subject matter."
Considering how brutally honest you tend to be, I will very much take that as a compliment that this is acceptable. I know it's not really possible to capture its splendor, even with my particular abilities. It's something that you kind of have to see for yourself, but acceptable is enough for you, I'm sure.
We do not care about the splendor of the subject matter. It is a acceptable portrayal of what is likely to you to be simply a expanse of terrain, but it is imperfect and incomplete because it does not contain the whole, the truth. It does not contain us as we were, and for that we are like this imperfect painting, incomplete and inaccurate, only an acceptable approximation.
Aurora's face kind of shifts from like kind of being playful about this conversation to kind of like a bit more somber of just like, oh, well, I suppose that's part of why we're doing what we're doing. Do you have any idea what it was that you may have looked like back then? I won't be able to include it in this piece, but just for the future, I suppose.
We are uncertain. We created this form based on the closest approximation of what we believed ourselves to be. But much like your painting, it is ultimately fails to capture truth.
Oh, it goes from acceptable to failure. Okay. Fair enough. Your world seems to have been so much different than ours. If you ever were to remember it in enough detail, I would be happy to try and recreate an acceptable approximation of what it is you have in your head to maybe share it with others, what the world used to be.
We believe you could attempt to the best of your limited ability to recreate what was once achieved. Admittedly, we do not fully remember everything as it once was. We have only fragments, and so we are, at best, could only do a limited approximation of our own limited capabilities to recreate it.
You really don't mince words at all, do you?
Would you prefer if we simply lied to you and told you that this was splendid?
No, 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 it's not that. If anything, I'm just mostly offended by the fact that you called my skills limited.
They are limited. You have only the ability to, even with your arcane additions, to add effects based on a perceptive belief of what you observed, but you do not know what it actually was and what it once looked like, what it encompassed, and what created it. So your skills are only limited in their ability to reproduce that.
Mm.
You are simply looking at a projection on a wall and believing that to be truth.
Hmm. Fair enough, I suppose. I don't I don't pretend to be perfect.
It is good. You would fail in that endeavor.
Gee. I tried. I tried. I'm gonna say just that one of my goals in talking to you with this was to try and get to know you and maybe get a little bit more on your good side. I don't feel like I don't feel like I've accomplished that very much.
We we are clearly upsetting you with our
But
assessment.
no, it's when I was in school, of course, my professors praised my work, and they also gave me critiques. It's just that, given the limited nature of mortal capabilities, I've never been judged on that before.
We understand that that would likely not be included in your rubric of education, but when you are asking for an accurate assessment, we provide it.
You're
We,
right.
we are not uncritical of ourselves. We often feel frustration with our own limited capabilities and failures to accurately portray what we once were and to understand the truth behind that, the purpose behind that. We do not hold you to a different standard.
Well, I hope to one day even just inch my way closer to that impossible standard that you set for me.
You have already achieved much. We do not know what else you particularly crave for us to tell you.
Mhm. That's probably the nicest thing I've ever heard you say. So I'll take it. We'll- we can move on from there, Omega.
Perhaps when we discover our purpose and find our truth, we will be better positioned to educate you as to your incorrect assumptions in construction.
Hmm. Sounds perfect. Maybe it's something I should try and ask the Raven Queen about.
They
Maybe she knows a little bit about what life was like back then.
kind of cock their head to the side and go, "You have more extensive relationships with that particular Fey entity."
I do. She'll hold up her left hand, the symbol of it.
Interesting. We could already detect the parasitic entity attached to you. but we did not believe that it extended perhaps more intrinsically to your nature than that.
She's she's not parasitic.
Incorrect. All Fae involve themselves in parasitic relationships with mortals. It is a part of
That's
their essential being.
okay. Then me and Soleil, is that parasitic as well in your judgment?
We could become more metaphorical about that context and the particular quid pro quo exchange of your own uh, carnal escapism, but we believe that Soleil is not intrinsically involved in any particular pacts or arrangements with you or any of your companions. However, we would not presume that Soleil has not the capacity for it, nor has he uh, not done that at any point prior.
Nethrys cares about me. I want to be clear about that. She's been my companion for some 5 years,
And
and
I'm sorry, you can finish.
and even in just this last year, really my only companion. And I, I really do care for her for that. I don't know if I'd still be here if it wasn't for her company. And that's not parasitic.
Inaccurate premise at its core, but we understand why you would have arrived at such a conclusion based on your interactions with it.
Usually, I don't think anybody in the party has ever seen Aurora properly annoyed. But Omega is seeing that right now. And this is their own private room, so nobody
Yeah.
else can see
Okay.
this. But she'll just kind of look to Omega, just like, I think you can excuse yourself now.
We understand you were unprepared for this information. We apologize for our candor, and they will just, like, the front of them just disappears in the body and appears out the back of them, and they just walk out of your room.
She'll just kind of stand there for a moment, sit down on the bed, and just say to Nethrys, I'm sorry you had to hear that.
The shadow kind of materializes next to you with the purple glowing eyes as she says, "Don't worry, Aurora. I'm sorry. I'm so used to being on Omega. Don't worry, Aurora. I understand that that thing's opinion is irrelevant, and you shouldn't let it get to you.
Mm. I mean, I get it. I get how she would look at this as a parasitic relationship, but things things can change. And you and the Raven Queen have only ever really, well, helped me get along in life. It really means a lot to me.
Of course, that thing wouldn't understand us.
Yeah. I care about you, though. I meant that.
You're my purpose, Aurora. You're why I exist.
I'm glad you're here with me, too.
And I always will be.
She'll just kind of lean her head towards the shape of the shadow and just kind of reach out to see if she can hold Nethrys's hand if she is willing to manifest that.
Yeah, she'll manifest into her true form for you. So the 6'5" Shadar-kai woman in grayscale with these like bright violet like tattoo markings on her face and along like her neck and her bright glowing violet eyes.
He'll just take Nethrys's hand and just kind of squeeze it a bit.
It's cold.
As ever.
As ever.
Say thank you.
You don't have to thank me for anything, Aurora.
But I want to. It may have been a bit dark, but I meant what I said. I don't know if I'd still be here if it wasn't for you. And I suppose that is just one of the many ways that you are my guardian angel. And I wouldn't trade you for the world.
And I would never trade you.
Mhm.
Just want to see you safe and thriving.
Aurora just kind of leans a bit closer into her and just probably just cries for like a good 15 seconds.
Nethrys just wraps her arms around you and just holds you. She's not a warm presence, by her nature, but she at least tries to affect the desired physical response for you.
Mm-hmm. I imagine after that bit, she'll just kind of wipe her eyes, say, "All right, I'm gonna go back out to the others. Thank you again."
Of course, Aurora. And as you stand up, she'll stand up next to you. She's much taller than you, and she'll just use one of her hands to lift up your chin and just say, "Don't let that thing get to you. What we have is special, and it could never understand that."
Right. I won't. I promise.
And she just returns to shadow and melts into your form.
All right. All good for me.
Okay. As you rejoin the others, you guys could all go to your respective beds. When Aurora comes back in, Omega is puddling on the ground. But unless anybody has anything else, you can go to bed tonight.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. As you guys go to bed tonight, you'll the rest of your night goes by uneventfully. For those who share the space with Omega, they'll just, after their 2 hours of puddling, they'll just be staring out the window, looking at the nightscape and everything. But come the morning, the sun rises. Now you get to see the city in all of its beautiful colors, where every building is like these multicolored, multifaceted, stained glass structures, and everything is just these vivid, colorful displays of light. Most people generally are wearing a fairly small color palette. Most people generally wear shades of black, red, orange, and yellow, and in various combinations and stuff. But that's kind of the norm here for most of the Solari. Goblinoids, of course, usually wear a lot of black and gold mixed with, they integrate some of the Solari colors and fashions into their own. But now you get to see this place in just its full colored glory, as you walk around through the lights, and everything has this like electrical charge kind of thing, and you'll look at the various stained glass structures, and as you look at them, the glass itself begins to like somewhat animate and show like kind of just like live 2D effects of some of the images that are on them, as you make your way through the city. And as you go, you do hear a small Earth Ganassi child selling newspapers, and you hear extra, extra, fire in the penumbra, local goblin tea house burned down, suspected arson, extra, extra.
Yeah, I I would like to immediately learn more about this.
um, as you approach the child, you can buy a newspaper if you want. Um, and it talks about that last night a very specific tea house in the Clan Wang Zuhai area of the Penumbra was burned down, with 10 people were burned to death apparently in the building. Um, and they haven't been able to fully identify the bodies yet because of the fires. And there's uh, apparently been no comments from the actual goblinoids of that area. However, you do see a comment from a House Jade Viper representative saying that this is another classic example of the state of disrepair in the Penumbra, and that this is a opportunity to learn from the mistakes of the status quo, and that the area needs to be redeveloped for the safety of its inhabitants. And that is the gist of the article.
So like this was the tea house that we stayed at. We went
Yep.
to dinner before, right? Okay.
Yep. You see the picture; it is exactly the tea house, except it's burned out, and you see several wrapped bodies in front of it as various like presumably medical and police forces are dealing with it, and you see just a bunch of various goblinoids looking sad and angry in the picture.
Oh, Nafisa's just like looking over Feng's shoulder, all chewing really loudly from some like breakfast stall food. Oh, we were there last night.
They are dead now.
Oh, is there? I looks down. Oh, should we tell Shari? Looked like she was a local there.
Imagine
I
checking on her is probably a good call.
I feel we should, if I might be so bold, I feel we should look into this. Something about this article feels wrong.
Yeah, it
As
is
an
very.
engineer, there was nothing unsound about that house.
I actually forgot one thing from the article that I have to bring up,
Oh,
because it's relevant. The article also mentions that this is the latest in a string of fires and potential arson attacks that have happened throughout the Penumbra, um, and that several districts have already been signed over to House Emberwolf and House Jade Viper for redevelopment and safety reconstruction. It's an important note I had to add.
mm-mm.
So we should. Omega, we're going to look into this, okay? So if at any point you catch on to the ley lightning, let us know and we'll figure out our priorities then, okay?
Of course, we are here to further our own objectives, but we know that you will be unable to function properly if you do not satiate your personal desires.
Yes. Okay, let's go. Let's go grab my sister. Come on, come on.
Okay. And I think this is probably a good place to wrap it up for tonight. As you truly start your first quest here, Urban Renewal.
You wouldn't kill a new NPC, would you, DM?
No, I wouldn't kill Sharit yet. Come on.
Yes.
Here is a big cast of NPCs I would love. Without me not realizing I've put them in a hostage scenario.
But thank you, everyone. I hope you all had fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad we had some silliness and some sadness. But if you haven't done so already, please go follow all of these wonderful people. They're all good beans in their own right, and literally everyone here has an RPG campaign in some way, shape, or form that at least one other person in this 5 people plays in. So go check them out, especially if you like this kind of content. Also, if you haven't done so already, please give me a follower on Twitch. Give me a sub over on YouTube, where I have every one of these sessions, as well as my other campaign, Eberron Ashes of the Last War, which you should go watch, as well as all the VODs of all my other streams. You should also give me a follow on Blue Sky if you want to see my art and my unhinged thoughts about everything. And you should join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community. Alright, everyone, I want you all to know you're all beautiful, amazing, and valid people, and I hope you enjoyed spending your night with us nearly as much as we enjoyed spending it with you. And never forget the most important part, which is the world is better having you in it. That'll be it for tonight. I'm going to be back here on Wednesday for more Fallout, as in my second to last Fallout stream. Thursday, I'm going to be on B's channel at 6 p.m. Eastern for more Deadlands. And then Friday at 7 p.m., I'm going to be on Christie's Twitch as I continue to sit in with them as she and her fiance play Signalis for the first time, and I rant about robot lesbians. So go check it all out if you enjoy such things. But this will be the last session of Forlorn Legacy for at least the next month or two. So I hope that you come on back for more once I'm ready to stream again, because we got a whole lot of action here in the Solari Empire waiting to unfold. So that'll be it for tonight. Let's go find somebody to raid. I know who I'm going to raid. He is currently doing art.
Where are we dropping?
So if you are a follower, please copy down the call to hugs. If you're a sub, please copy down the knight's message. We are going to raid Undead Commander 52. He is a good D&D bean. He is currently doing skeleton art. He is a skeleton VTuber. He is an active DM. He has this huge homebrew setting that he wrote a full-on book for the setting for his real life group. So very, very good bean. And he has a wonderful Discord about helping people learn D&D and finding groups and stuff. So let's go send him some love. All right, so once again, if you're a follower, copy down the call to hugs. If you're a sub, copy down the knight's message. And I hope you have a good night. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.